Hello and welcome back to the Cinema Tirana YouTube channel. I am Stefano Tirana and today we're talking about the book of Boba Fett. This is a show on Disney Plus that just finished airing. I had some thoughts to say about it and maybe the future of Disney Plus shows. So let's get into it. The book of Boba Fett is centered around the bounty hunter Boba Fett from the Star Wars universe. It pretty much catches us up on what he's been doing since the events of Return of the Jedi. This is kind of a spin-off from the very popular The Mandalorian. Oh, I forgot to turn the lights off. I forgot to turn the lights on, 1 second. Production quality. Like I was saying before, this is a kind of spin-off from The Mandalorian. It's been a super popular and super well received TV show for Disney Plus. It has the same showrunners. Jon Favreau is behind the writing of most of these episodes, and they have their usual cast of directors helming the series. The Book of Boba Fett centers around Boba Fett trying to take over Jabba the Hutt's former crime empire. It was a premise that was teased at the end of the last season of The Mandalorian, and a lot of people were very excited to see where this was going. Overall, it's a very mixed bag of a show. On one hand, the premise is really cool. You got the most acclaimed, esteemed bounty hunter in the galaxy taking on a crime empire. But on the other hand, the actual way that it's executed is a little bit strange. Throughout the show, we have these really cool flashbacks to Boba's time with the Tusken Raiders, this desert tribe group, and we get to see how his character changes in that time. He goes from a feared, bitter bounty hunter to a bit of a softie. And I think that's where the show's first kind of mistake happens. Boba Fett as a character really changes from his past portrayals in The Empire Strikes Back and all the surrounding myth and legend. I don't know if this is like a lose-lose situation for the show. Boba Fett as a character was incredibly esteemed amongst fans, and not to mention his extended universe stories of him being an absolute kick-butt bounty hunter. And here, I think the show falls short of expectations. This is no fault of Tamar Morrison, the actor who plays Boba Fett. I think he's just not given so many opportunities to shine as an action star. There are a few really great set pieces. There's a train heist. There's a few bar fights, for example, where you get to see Boba Fett's skills, but it's really just a tease. You don't get to see him kick butt. He's more of a diplomat throughout the show, which is not really the Boba Fett I think most people were expecting. There's a few really good aspects of the show. His time with the Tusken Raiders and the few set pieces, like I said. But I think the show falls short in general, just in the context of the rest of Disney Plus shows for Star Wars. For example, The Mandalorian shows up towards the end of the season and he takes the show. People love The Mandalorian. I saw surveys online of people being asked who their favorite character of the show was, and it was almost always Din Djarin. Of Mandalorian fame, it's kind of strange when Boba Fett falls second act to a character that's been newly introduced, but it totally happens. I think Boba's character was so neutered in a sense that people couldn't help but identify with Din Djarin even more. Not to mention Baby Yoda's arc and Luke Skywalker showing up. It's just, it wasn't a good Boba Fett centered show. The show is also very unevenly paced. The first few episodes are kind of slow going. You get to see him crawling out of the Sarlacc pit, which was pretty cool. But the actual build of the long-term conflict and the reveal of villains was a little unevenly handled. For example, the show takes a few episodes to introduce the Pike Syndicate, which is apparently the main enemy of the show. And then all of a sudden, Cad Bane, this huge Star Wars character from the animated series, shows up in the last 2 episodes, which is it was cool to see him in the show, but I think if you built it up more and he didn't just come out of nowhere, I think it would have been way more of a fulfilling experience for the audience. And you get little hints to their backstory, but there's a lot more to the 2 characters' histories between Boba Fett and Cad Bane that I think should have been explored in a show about Boba Fett. Furthermore, the show is causing a break between Mandalorian Season 2 and Season 3. And I think the fact that it lives in that show's shadow, I think didn't help the show a whole lot. I don't know how well this show is going to be received further down the road for fans. With the way and level that it changed Boba Fett's character, I think it's a little strange. I think the highlight episode is the return of the Mandalorian. That episode was basically Season 3, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian, and people were so hyped about it, and I was too. I think it's a great episode. It was directed by Bryce Dallas Howard. She does a great job with the show. The effects were great, and you get to see Din Djarin's progression and answering so much questions from Season 2, but it's like, why is this in the Book of Boba Fett when we're supposed to be focused on Boba Fett? It's a little strange. And it all feels a bit contrived just to get him into that last episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And the finale, I don't think it ends on a good note. It's kind of a full hour of just blasters shooting. The action gets a little tired. There's some cool things between Boba Fett and Din Djarin that, you know, they're doing their action hero things, but it's like, but it just goes on for too long. It's too long and there's not enough variety. Honestly, the best part of that episode was seeing Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian get back together. I know his name is Grogu. I know. So overall, I think this show is a bit lackluster. For all of its great scenes, there's a lot of just like not great bits in it. And the best scenes are with a character that is supposed to be from another series. Not to mention that it just gets rid of the mystery and the prestige of Boba Fett as a character. It takes him from an anti-hero to just, you know, like a good guy, like a proper good guy, but you know, that's not what the strength of Boba Fett as a character was, I don't think. I think it's, you know, it just makes it a little bit more palatable to general Disney Plus viewers, but I just don't think it was the right way to go with this character where there's so much potential. Yeah, I think it's a mixed bag. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. We can chat about it. I'd love to do so. I think there's a big conversation to be had about Din Djarin's story and how it relates to deconstructionism somehow. Let me know if you want to see a video about that. And since you're here, hit the like button, please and thank you. Hit that subscribe button. We're growing a channel that looks at media critically, thoughtfully, and with discernment. So thanks for watching. I think that's about it. I'll leave it there.